Hi guys, welcome back to Kat's Kitchen. So in today's video we are going to be hot packing ground beef and then pressure canning it. So as you can see, I have 3 skillets working here. I have my lid simmering here. So we have grass-fed ground beef in each of these pans, and then I have onion powder, garlic powder, salt and pepper, and then my cowboy seasoning, and then I also have some fresh onion and fresh garlic in there as well. So right now we're just kind of going to cook it. We're going to brown it until you still want to have a little bit of pink in there. So we're just kind of browning it a little bit, and then we're going to let it cook the rest of the way in our pressure canner. The reason why you don't want to cook it all the way right now is because you don't want it to be severely overcooked after canning process. Obviously we would not eat this meat right now because it's not safe to eat, but like I said, we are going to be pressure canning this. Little fun fact about ground beef is the reason why you don't really want, like, you know, a rare burger, or it really depends on where you get your meat and where they butcher it, but usually like if you order something rare, it's usually a steak. The reason why you can get away with it for a steak, and the reason why it's different from steak meat and ground beef, is whenever they butcher this, they have to grind it out in the open air. So because of that, bacteria from the air can get inside to the meat while they're grinding it. And that goes for all ground meat. Ground sausage as well. Obviously you don't eat pork rare, but or chicken sausage, you don't eat that rare either. But just so you guys can get an idea of, that's why ground meat has to be cooked a little bit more than a steak. A steak is just sliced and then packaged. So we're just going to keep cooking this meat until I just want a little bit of pink in it, and then we're putting it in bowls with paper towels or colanders, whatever you have, to drain the grease off. We want to get as much grease off as possible, and then we're going to show you how we jar it up. I'm also going to be making a broth because we're hot packing this. It's not going to be creating its own juices. It's creating its own juices right now, but this is also fat, and we don't necessarily want the fat. So I'm going to be making a broth. Yesterday I put a bunch of beef soup bones in a big stock pot and just boiled it for hours. So that's going to be the base for our beef broth, and then we're going to just strain that out, skim all the fat off of it, take the bones out, and then we're going to add a beef base to it, so a bouillon or a beef based soup, whatever you have on hand, just until it's nice and tasty, and then that's what we're going to use to fill our jars. So we're going to come back to you guys when we're ready to fill up our jars, so we'll see you soon. Alrighty guys, so we are back here now. We filled up our ground beef in our pint jars, and we just filled them right up underneath the first lip, so to give it 1-inch head space. And then we took our beef broth and just filled it up the same. We debubbled all of these with our debubbling tool, just going around the outside and then pressing in the middle in order to get out any air bubbles. Now what I'm doing is I'm just really cleaning the tops of these rims as best as possible with some white vinegar. And then I'm going to follow it up with a dry paper towel in order to make sure that they are squeaky clean, because there is a lot of fat coming off of this ground beef. And then next we're just going to pop our lids and bands on, and then we're going to put them into our pressure canner. You're going to have to look up for your altitude what processing time you need to process these for. For my altitude, they're going to process at 11 pounds for 75 minutes. And then if you're doing quarts, you want to look up that recipe also for your altitude. I will link that in the description box for you guys. Also guys, I wanted to mention that whenever we were cooking the meat, you're going to get a lot of fat off of it. Even if it's 80-20 or whatnot, you're still going to get a lot of fat. So what we did was, after we browned the meat till it was about 90% done, then we went ahead and had a colander and then a bowl underneath it to catch all of the fat, and we basically had to press out the meat as best as we could, and then we put them in our jars. We tried paper towels, we tried a few other things, but that was honestly the best method that we could find to eliminate some of the fat. because if you have too much fat in your jars, obviously, it could hinder you from getting a good seal. So I'm hoping that these are going to seal up for us nice. We're going to pop these in the canner. And these are regular mouth jars. I have a mixture of wide mouth and regular mouth, but with regular mouth, I'm going to be able to fit 20 in my canner. And I have 2 canners, so once my stove frees up, I'll be able to get both of them working. So I will see you guys at the end, whenever we have the finished product. So stay tuned. So we got our first layer down there, 10 in there, and then you just put and I have one of these grates at the bottom because you can't set your jars right on the bottom of the pan. Your jars might crack. So we've got that layer, and then I'm going to be able to put 10 more of our pints up here. So we'll see you guys once the product is done. All right, everybody, so this is the final product. We have this is 20 pints. I'm sorry, 20 half pints. It's been a long day of canning. We're still canning. I'm sure you can hear that in the background. But yeah, the product ended up coming out really beautiful, and different ways that you can use this product. You can use this in tomato sauce, pizza sauce. You can make, lasagnas with this, any sort of sauce that you would need to make. You can do tacos with this. Oh, I'm trying to think. Really anything that you would need ground beef for, casseroles, hamburger helper. You could take one of these and do like a cream of mushroom, or a cream of celery, or even a cream of chicken, whatever you have on hand, and then just do some noodles with it. You can even do what is it called? Like a stroganoff with the ground beef and the mushrooms, and then make the sauce. So these are just some simple ways that you guys can reuse this. Please like, share, and subscribe so that we can make some more videos like this for you guys. We really love making these videos. So thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.